Hey folks, Crazy Climber 80 here again, and we're going to look at another DECO Cassette system game. This one is called Super Astro Fighter, created in 1981 by Data East, and this is a sequel to Astro Fighter, which was released in 1979 by Data East. That one was also under license of Gremlin Sega, but it was created by Data East, and this is its sequel. And I don't know why they call it Super Astro Fighter, because it's anything but super. It's really not a very good sequel. Nothing terribly special about it, other than we get a shorter boot up screen than normal with DECO Cassette system games. But the enemies have more flighty patterns. They move around a bit more, and you can get a bonus for taking out a certain group of enemies in mid-flight, but it's not particularly big. This game appeared in the arcade game show Starcade from the early to mid-80s. It might have been on more than one episode. But yeah, it's not particularly good. It's not as bad as some DECO Cassette system games, but certainly not one of the more memorable titles. But yeah, they really didn't expand enough on the first game to make this interesting. But there are a number of waves of enemies you have to defeat until you face a boss, just like there was a boss in the first game in Astro Fighter. Although this boss, I think, is easier, much easier to hit. You still have to get a shot straight up the middle to destroy them, but the boss doesn't fly around as quick as in the original, so it's much easier to defeat. But then you start all the levels over again. And we'll have a look at it in a little bit. We'll look at the demo first. But yeah, this game is not really all that great. Definitely not super. But during the attract mode, if you remember Astro Fighter, your ship shot at the letters of Astro Fighter, or the katakana in the Japanese version. And your ship does that too in this game. In this game's attract mode. See, there's the writing for Super Astro Fighter. And then the ship shoots parts of the words. But yeah, the game's not all that great. Not the worst DECO Cassette system game, but certainly not one of the better titles by any means. And pretty easy to register on the high score list when all the other scores are 0. But those first enemies are a lot like in the original Astro Fighter, but I think once you whittle them down to really low, then they can start flying about. These guys are even easier. The enemies still shoot diagonal shots like they did in these guys I hate. The enemy can still shoot diagonal shots like in Astro Fighter. These are the easiest enemies. They just simply float down. They do shoot, but you can easily duck in and out of the way because their shots are so slow. These guys are pretty easy too. In fact, most of the enemies are easy, but there's one wave in particular that's really annoying. And then again, the boss is much easier in this game than the first game. Let's get started. And as in Astro Fighter 1, you get a fuel meter, and once it's depleted, your game's over, no matter how many lives you have left. Yeah, and then there's that one enemy that's left that will fly about. Ooh, good shot. Now this time we've got these flying saucers. These blue flying saucers. They're real easy to dispose of. And again, as in the first Astro Fighter game, if you let... I hate these guys. If you let the enemies get by you, except in this wave, if you let the enemies get by you, then a whole new group of enemies reforms. But that's not the case in some of these levels, this one included. Nah, kind of had to do that. I wanted to get rid of him. So we move on to the next level, and this is the easiest. They shoot so slow when they're above you that it's easy to get out of the way. Try to eliminate these guys quickly. The easy levels, just get them over with as quick as possible. Ah, god damn it. So you can move on to the next wave of enemies. Get to the boss as quick as you can. And these guys are easy too. Now there's the boss. See how slow they move? Easy, easy, easy. Just gotta get that one shot down the middle. You get a bonus for your remaining fuel. And then you go to the next level. Get your fuel refilled. Now I think these guys are just... they're in flight earlier than they were in the first level, or the first time around. And make sure you have room along the edges to avoid the flying enemies if you can. Ah, I didn't. But yeah, that final boss is so much easier than in Astro Fighter 1. So much easier to hit. Yeah, this level's super easy, and the one with the slow flying enemies that fly diagonally, those are among the easiest levels. The game in general is pretty easy, but it's just when they've got these enemies that fly around. They're not doing it this time. They did in the first time around. These guys are super, super easy. Just don't let them get too close and stay under them where they can shoot you, even though their firepower is really slow. Now these guys are also really easy. There's just like... oh, now we've got some flight patterns out of these guys. But again, if you shoot a group of them in mid-flight, you'll get a little bit of a bonus. There's the boss again. Will I get him in time before my fuel runs out? Yep. I almost got 10,000. And start all the levels over again. And they shoot a lot more often this time around. Ah, crap. You bastard. I almost made it to 10,000. That is Super Astro Fighter for the DECO Cassette system in 1981 by Data East. And not all that good. Yeah, you can only put 3 initials in. Yeah, fairly crappy. But that was Super Astro Fighter for the DECO Cassette system, created by Data East in 1981, and made an appearance on Starcade. Well, this is Crazy Climber 80 saying thanks for watching Super Astro Fighter by Data East for the DECO Cassette system in 1981. I will catch you later in the future, probably with another DECO Cassette system game. See you then, folks. Bye-bye.